Hello everyone, welcome. My name is BadCode. How's everybody doing? Welcome to a new video. This time we're going to talk about QB-WeatherSync and the API fail that is happening when you turn on the real sync for the server. And what this is when, for example, you press you pick up your phone, and this time here that is being used is the game time. It changes, it moves, it works with the time of the game. But if you want, you can use your server time or your IP time, whatever you configure for the API. When this happens with that script, the API is having a problem, and we're gonna try to fix that problem with this video. So let's go to your VPS and see what we're gonna change. First off, we do need to go to your script directory of your WeatherSync. So go to your QB Core framework directory, resources, QB Core, and it should be one of the last files, which is not QB Core, QB. I'm sorry. And the last few directories, there should be one that says QB-WeatherSync. Open this up. We are going to alter two files. One of them will be the config and one of them will be the server. What we're going to do is, in a script, if the call to the API fails, we are going to use the server time right here. And we'll also explain a little bit of what's happening with the API. So first off, edit your config file. Oh, before we do that, do make a copy of this somewhere else. Like, copy it, paste it onto your desktop or whatever, and have a copy of it just in case you do mess up anything. So enter the directory, edit your config.lua with your favorite editor, and the error that's happening, let's put this over here, when you change this to true, which uses the real-time sync, it synchronizes the game time with your real time. Let's turn it to true, save it, restart the script, and what happens is this. What it's trying to do is it tries to get the time from this API and it's failing. So what is this API? Let's go check. First off, let's put this at false again. So there, save, restart, so it's not hammering the server. So what's happening here in your server.lua, it's trying to access this API. So we're going to copy this and open your browser just to see, and we're going to paste it and try to run this thing. And what happens here is the API is giving an error. This error right here is a 502, is an internal error. It can't handle the request, possibly because it's being overworked with all the people or applications trying to use this link. So what we're going to do is, instead of using only this link, if this link fails, we're going to use the server time. So let's go back to our file situation. Go back to your config.lua. We're going to create a new variable here. I'm just going to copy it from, actually, wait a second. Okay, I'm going to copy this from a file that I made. So we're going to create a variable with this name. It's going to be called config.server.timeSync. It's the same as the previous one, but instead of real, we're putting server. And this variable, you can only set this to true if this one is set to true. Because what this does is, if this one fails, it will use this one. So we'll explain it when we see the actual code. So what we're going to do here, we're going to put both of these to true. We're going a little bit fast here, sorry. Again, we only added this variable here. This is to tell the script that if this is set to true, it will use this time over here only if this fails. Okay, so now we're going to open another file. One second. We're going back to QB core. I have to check something here. We're going back here to your QB-WeatherSync. Enter the server directory and edit this file, server.lua. I already have it open. We are going to search for, do your search command, and we're going to search for world time API, all together, no spaces, and all lowercase. We are going to search it, and there only should be two places where this appears that we can see right here. We are going to, when you find the line preform HTTP request, we are going to, I'll explain this a little bit. What's happening here is the script tries to get the time from this API. If it does succeed, which is 200, it will try to get the data, and with that data it'll try to get the Unix time, which will then send back to where this function was called. If it does fail, which is happening right now, it'll just return nil. And when it does return nil, it will give all those errors. It's failed or true, da, 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 da. So what we're going to do is, if it does fail, we are going to choose, and we're going to go down. This is an if. We're going down to this else right here, not this one. This one right here. And after this line, after the else, we're going to put a few enters, give it some space, and we're going to comment this line. I am going to get the script that I made, a little script. I will explain what it is and all that. Gonna paste it. Okay. As I said before, I didn't say this, but I will say it now. This is not an official fix. This is only something that, in case the API fails, it will use the server time. So let's see what we're doing here. That variable that we just configured in our config file right here, if it's set to true, it will get the server time, this server time, or your server time, send that information to this variable right here, Unix time, and then return that that data back to the place where this function was called. If the config server time sync is set to false, it'll just return nil. Since this part failed, this part will continue to fail, and it will work as if this never existed. As I said, this is only to have time related to your server. If the API fails, you'll use your server time. If the API works, you'll use the API time. So there's nothing, it stays the same way. Just in case there's an error, you'll do this. So let's see if this works. Remember to save, confirm to set. Be certain that this variable here is the same as this one right here, or else this won't work. It will fail. Upper cases and lower cases should be exactly the same. If you don't want to make an error, just copy this from here and paste it right here. That way there are no mistakes. So everything is saved. Restart the script. No errors. Go back to your game. Open your phone, and it's 2:17 or 18 in the morning. So let's go check that out if it's the same as the server. 2:18 in the morning. Ta-da! We can change it back. False. False. Save. Oops, not that one. Restart. No errors. It's back to game time. It's moving. Tick, 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 tick. Let's go back to the server. Let's try a little something different. Let's put true. Just get the real-time sync and not get the server time. This will only get the API. Let's restart it, and we're going to notice that it's going to start giving errors. So back to the file. We're going to put this to true again. We're going to save it. We're going to restart it. This happens. This is because of Lua synchronization, or asynchronous execution. As you can see, it stopped. It went back to normal. It takes a while to get there. This is because Lua does not work. It works, for example, normal programming. The computer does this line, then it does this line, then it does this line, then it does this line, and so on and so on and so on. But Lua, sometimes, not in this part of the code, but sometimes it may execute this line before it executes this line. And sometimes we have to be careful with Lua in that situation. So this will start with a few errors, but after a while it'll fix itself. And if we go to the time on the mobile phone or on your phone, you'll notice it's 2:20. Let's check if it's 2:20 on the server. It's 2:21. It's probably going to change. Let's go back, see if it changed. There may be a delay. This may be a 1 minute thing, but it's very identical to the server. So that is it. Let me just explain. This is not an official fix. This is only to do when this doesn't work, use the server time. That's all this does. There may be an option to use other APIs, but then you have to configure this to get that information, specific information, because the JSON files are not the same, and you will have to change the code for that situation. This should be something that the people that made QB-WeatherSync should do. You should ask them to do this fix, or you can ask them to do this. This is something I did to fix this situation. You can use it for your charge. This code is pretty simple. What it does, if this is true, do this. If it's false, do this. Nothing more. And that is it. So there you go. That's how you fix the API problem. It's not a fix, it's more of a, if it fails, use something else. I really do hope you enjoyed the video, and if it did help you out, please leave a like. If you want to be informed of new videos, hit that subscribe button and that notification button. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below. I guess, oh, another thing, I do have a Discord in the description down below. If you guys want to pop in there and say hello, go right ahead. And if you want, you can jump into this actual test server if you guys want to just see a few things. I do have a few scripts here. One of them is down here. And another one is somewhere over here. Come around, test them out. They're simple scripts. One is a trucking job and one is like an Uber Eats, and they're pretty fun. They're still in the beginning stage, but they'll probably be out there. I'm not sure if they're going to be free, but if they're not free, they're going to be a very, very low price, so don't worry about it. Okay, that is it. Love you all. See you in the next video. Bye bye.